What is up, D-Bags? JJ back here this time with Mangone, talking a little more PGA. This week it's going to be the Workday Charity Open at the Muirfield Village Golf Club. Mangone, how did we do last week?
I mean, listen, it was a good time for me. DFS worked out betting. We went 2 for 2, which wasn't the best, but DFS crushed, and our boy Bryson took it home. So, we talked him up. Maybe someone decided, I don't care what these clowns are saying about 6-1. This man's going to win, and maybe they jumped on it. I hope they did. But it was a good time. I enjoyed every second of Bryson this week.
Yeah, I mean, if there's two people in the world that would enjoy a teabagging from Bryson, it's probably the two on this video. So like Mangone said, 2-2 last week. We hit on Stewart over Hodge, -112. Lost on Finau over Fowler. Lost our Cup parlay at -130. That was the only one we lost actual vig on. And we also hit on the Doc Redman round 1 matchup at -110. So 2-2, lose about 30 cents a vig. No harm, no foul. But we are looking forward to this week and this course. Now, Mangone, what makes this course a little different than last week, and maybe certain different players you might want to target this week in the betting markets again versus last week in the course that was?
Yeah, it's funny. I do think there's some similarities to last week to a degree. These are hard greens to hit. Two stats that are going to be important this week are approach and on the green, mainly because the greens are really small. This is going to be an elite ball strikers course, so you got to have strong iron play. It's a par 72. Length is about 7,400 yards. And they're going to be playing this course back to back. So they're going to change some stuff up. They're playing it this week and then next week, but they're going to change some of the green speed up. So it sounds like it's going to be a little bit slower this week, and then they're going to speed them up next week. It's going to be at 11 to 12 speed, and then the rough is going to be 3 to 3.5 inches here at Muirfield. So that's kind of the whole breakdown of it. If you were just taking 2 stats though, the ones that are key are, I'd say, approach, and then a lot of people talk around the green again because the greens are really small, but we're looking for those ball strikers, guys seeking the pin. That's kind of the thing that we're looking for the most.
Now, something I noticed this week where it's a little different than last week, right? Like last week you had Bryson as the big favorite, right? A few other, like 1 or 2 guys in the teens, and then basically everybody else was 20 plus. This week, it looks like you got 5 or 6 guys under 20 to 1 or 20 to 1 ish. And definitely at least 4 guys inside the teens. That can't be common for tournaments like this. I'm wondering if it's related to just more market share in PGA, maybe books giving a little extra vig on some of these guys. What do you think is the reasoning behind 5 or 6 guys in the teens as far as outrights?
Yeah, well, I think it's just because there's nothing going on, right? They can just give out bad lines essentially, and people are going to bet them, right? Who doesn't love betting an outright, JJ? If I had to say, you always say you make the sex line. I forget, I can't remember how you say it, but man, I bet you winning a golf outright is better than sex, right? That's like the RG. Nothing is better than winning a golf outright. I mean, I had that Xander ticket at 33 to 1, and man, my sweat on Sunday was amazing. And yes, Xander didn't win. He ended up getting 3rd and choked, but dude, the sweat was awesome. It was such a good time. So yeah, the outright market, people love betting it. I'm sure people are tuning in the video just wanting outrights because, again, they're fun. They're awesome. But they're definitely giving out some really bad lines. To be able to give all those guys in the teens, it seems to be a little ridiculous. But those are guys that are probably going to be up there and competing on Sunday for sure.
Now, to be clear, sex lines aren't really my thing. I mean, I wouldn't even know what sex is in this house. But no, seriously, the interesting part with the line starting at poor numbers is that I think a lot of bettors need to realize that that's going to impact lines for the entire weekend. So as a tournament approaches Friday and Saturday and Sunday, and you're going to look at lines when you wake up and see if you find anything favorable before golf starts, or maybe you want to, attack it mid round, or maybe at night after the round's over. Those beginning rounds, if they sucked pre-round, they're not going to get much better in the tournament. And even if they start to get better, it's really because your golfer has really put himself at an inferior pace versus everyone else. So just something to consider, that it's not just having poor odds to start a tournament will in fact impact your live odds you want to bet throughout. So just something to just keep in mind, because again, I feel like that kind of gets lost in translation. Now, Mangone, what are some outrights you kind of maybe leaning towards? And then we'll go into a few of the derivative bets we like.
Yeah, so like I said, no official plays on the outrights for me. There's not this guy that I'm totally keying in on. There's no real long shots I'm big on, but if there were like 3 guys I was looking at, right, I'll make a case for all 3. I'll give you the sales pitch on each one, the elevator pitch, as they say. I like Brooks Koepka a little bit. Again, 16-1 is not the greatest odds, but man, this dude is definitely getting the measuring stick out against Bryson. He is, I don't know if you've seen him on Twitter, but he's kind of, blaming Bryson for the steroids and everything.
He's throwing shade.
Yeah, like when Brooks has notoriously said, like, I only try at majors. Like, you better believe Brooks is going to be trying here after the Bryson win. He's going to be out there, crushing it. So if you also look, his putter's been a lot better post-quarantine in like the 8 rounds. He's had like a movement in like, I think 1.8 per round difference from like, negative to minus. I think it was like minus 0.71, and now it's like plus 1.05 per round, right? This isn't just for per tournament. So he's gaining more strokes putting. He's got the long driver. He's just one of the top players in the world. So I kind of like him a little bit. Another guy I'm interested in is Justin Rose. 26-1. I don't mind that price on him. One thing that sticks out to me, again, like if you look at long-term stats over like the past like 50 rounds or 36 rounds, it's really ugly. The reason why it's really ugly is because Justin Rose switched his clubs. He was, he did it for the money, right? Money calls, he changed sponsors, and it didn't work out. He's like, yeah, I'm done with this crap. Post-quarantine, he went back to the old clubs and absolutely crushed it. He's been really good, crushing it in the strokes gained tee to green category. And that's one thing that's really predictive of like, future form. And that was one reason why we liked Doc Redman last week. I talked about how his strokes gained tee to green was like a massive difference than what it was in the past. And seeing that here from Justin Rose, on top of that course history, very good here. I think this could be a good spot, an elite ball striker like Justin Rose. And then I'll talk about one of the best iron players in the world. It's Collin Morikawa, coming off of that missed cut too. People might be worried to go back to the well on him. He's 33-1 on the FanDuel book. I'm sure you could chop around and find a better number. I believe I saw 40-1 earlier in the week, and I was going to go back to jump on it, and then I think it moved. But, Morikawa, again, one of the best iron players on tour. You can get it at that price. Yes, he's a terrible putter. People always say, oh, he's a bad putter, but these greens are going to be, a little bit slower. I think it'll negate some putting statistics where, better putters are not going to be as successful. I think you could see unsuccessful putters, reduce that variance, right? Kind of bring it back to the mean. And I think you could see a big one from Morikawa. So if you force me to, if I had one unit and I was putting down money, I'd probably put like 0.4 on Brooks, 0.4 on Justin Rose, and then maybe 0.2 on Morikawa.
I like some of those. And I'll tell you this, Justin Rose has like the smuggest picture on like every site. Like, I don't know if you've seen them, Mango, and I'm sure you have. He's just got like asshole face. Like, I don't know. And it doesn't look like that at all on the course, but it just, his pictures just look like he's just got this dumbass smirk on his face.
That's those Europeans, JJ. That's the look I guess they're always given.
All right. So spoiler alert on a few of these next bets that we're going to give you. The ball gargle play of the week for us is going to be Patrick Cantlay. We just kind of like a lot of what he brings to this course. Now, Mango, and you can go into a few of your bets, and then I'll give out mine for him. But they're all going to be correlated through him.
Yeah, so that's the thing I like about this. I think, again, Cantlay, just grades out really, really strong here. You might wonder, why did I not pick him out as the winner? Well, again, he's like the second biggest favorite. I didn't feel the need to go there. And I already invested him in other ways, so I didn't think I needed to go that way. But let's talk about Cantlay a little bit. So the first bet that I have, and it's over on Bet365. I want to pull it up now for you guys. We got Cantlay. We got Justin Thomas, who grades out really well for this course. I think he'd absolutely crush. And we got Brooks, who I talked about as a guy that I think, could come in and have a really strong day. If you parlay those 3 on Bet365 for the made cuts, you can get that at minus 134. So I put some money on that. If you want to, Mr. Cutmaker, Collin Morikawa, yes, he's coming off the missed cut because Tiger Woods, he was chasing that streak and he couldn't, Tiger won again. Tiger always freaking wins. But Morikawa's back at it. And if you throw Morikawa on there too, you can get that line at plus 133 with all 4. The official play, we'll just go with the 3. So we'll go with Brooks. We'll go with at minus 400. Justin Thomas at minus 600 and Cantlay at minus 500. That gives us a minus 134 on those 3 to make the cut.
Nice. I like it. And I want to reference this. I didn't reference this earlier. Hello, I brought a snapback in just for you, Mangone. I mean, this ain't my style. I don't roll like this.
That's true.
I'm doing this for you. I mean,
next week you're going to see me. Next week, you're going to see me with a shaved head and a gold chain, I think. I got to do it if these bets hit and go 3-0. So,
well, I'll tell you what, real quick, and not to toot your own horn, but I mean, you did pretty well in golf DFS this weekend, no?
Yeah, I mean, listen, I wasn't Hoop. Like Hoop shipped like, I don't know, like 400K or something insane, but I had a good week. I couldn't complain. Bryson, smashed the lock button on him in DFS. So yeah, took home about like 10.5K. So no complaints over here. It was a good DFS week for me.
Yeah, nice. That's a good tax weekend. Yeah. So he gave you the cup parlay he likes. For Cantlay, for me, my favorite bet for him is top 20. You can get that even money on DraftKings in Jersey. Or whatever books you're at that offer, top 20, top 30, top 40. You can get him to land inside the top 20 at even money. I'm good with that all the way up to minus 115. He's just first in countless categories at this course. And he gained strokes in every aspect of his game his last time out. Again, you can target him in matchups instead if you don't have the top 20s or top 10 specifically or top 30s. But again, the bet for me officially will be top 20 at even money. And then, Mangone, what's our last bet that does involve Cantlay?
Yeah, so and again, you mentioned the matchup, right? You can shop around for maybe a better Cantlay one. Sometimes I shop between sites just to see because they have different ones out there. Like Cantlay versus Brooks, I saw, and I was like, I just don't want to touch that. But maybe you can get a better guy that he's going up against that you prefer. Personally, I think this first round, 3-ball bet is really good. We talked about it last week at Doc Redman, and I kind of did it like on the cuff, right? Doc was the guy that I was pretty invested in DFS. I had over 30% last week, and I was just looking at Doc Redman bets and seeing what I could find. And Cantlay was a guy we were talking about, and I just went and looked, and I was like, oh yeah, I remember seeing this bet. It seemed a little off. So the first round 3-ball bet, you can get Cantlay at plus 100 on the FanDuel Sportsbook if you want. Again, shop around for the best price. Against Jordan Spieth and Phil Mickelson. Listen, if you follow the Run Pure Sports crew, like we are not Jordan Spieth truthers. We are fading him all the time, not big fans. And Phil Mickelson, I'm just not going to be a believer in, right? He hit bombs when he was playing with Rory and Bryson, but he is not hitting bombs with Jordan and Cantlay. I like that line for the first round 3-ball bet. I think Cantlay beats those two out in the group when they go out together. So give me Cantlay at plus 100 first round 3-ball bet.
Love it. Love it. So, okay. So just to recap our 3 bets locked in, I'm on Cantlay top 20 at even money. Mangone's got the 3 make the cut parlay with Justin Thomas, Brooks Koepka, and Patrick Cantlay. That's all 3 of them combined at minus 134. And then the last bet is the 3-ball bet, and that's against Spieth and Mickelson, right?
Yep, Spieth and Mickelson. Let's take those 2 clowns out.
For day one. So perfect. So ultimately, guys, thank you so much for watching. We have a pretty busy week on this channel. Obviously got the golf video here. Going to have Jason Paglia come on and give you 2 different UFC breakdowns for the card on Saturday, 251, I believe. That's going to be the main event he's going to do for you. And one of the fights on the main card as well. He was going to do the Holloway fight, but I know that that got scratched to a certain extent. But either way, you will get 2 entire breakdown fights from him. We're also going to have a NASCAR video Friday with one of our guys, probably Coop, to do that with us there to give you guys some NASCAR bets to make for Sunday. And then, of course, we're going to have the debut of the Sports K coming on here for the live video, sports betting video on Saturday for, again, the UFC card. So pop in for all that. Again, a busy week here. Thank you so much for watching. If you did not enjoy, I hope you wake up with somebody's balls in your mouth, just not our boy Bryson DeChambeau's balls, because that is me and Mangone's bucket list. But other than that, guys, thanks again for watching. Like the video. Feel free to drop any comments below with any questions you have. You have about a day and a half or so before the tournament starts. So we look forward to answering some of those. But again, good luck, stay safe, and we'll see you soon.